Oh, hello everybody, it is me, Erik, with a K. Once again, I'm back to tell you even some more of that exciting story. And I have something exciting to tell you today, is that this story about Rosea and Father Jacob and all of the dream world, it now has a title. I was speaking to Dietlef Linder, who is the man that is writing this story, and he has told us that now he has chosen a name for this story. And do you want to know what it is? It is called Rosea Dreams. I think that is such a beautiful name for the story, because this story is all about Rosea, and she keeps having the different dreams and going into the dream world. And so I think that is absolutely beautiful. And so today we are continuing on with chapter 5, and the title of this chapter is Impossible Logic. Rosea Dreams by Dietlef Linder, Chapter 5. Rosea had been keen for the other children to leave, as she wanted to talk with Father Jacob about how her Togetherland, her pink kingdom, was changing. She knew that she would not have much time for it. Her mother was normally the last one to pick her up from Father Jacob's place after all the other children had already been called home. But she was rarely extremely late. Many of the parents had to work even on a Saturday. Rosea's mother this week would have to work even on Sunday too. As soon as the last of the other children had left, Rosea told Father Jacob of her last adventure with Big Mouth, as she called the boy Gideon, who shared her dreamland with her. She explained to Father Jacob how they had traveled through the in-between, through the area between all the places they had dreamed up before. She told him how the dream had become different there, as they did not know what to expect. She also admitted that Gideon had recognized the change in her Togetherland before she did. He had explained that in Togetherland were things that she, Rosea, had thought up, and things that he, Gideon, had thought up, and also things which had mixed up their thoughts and expectations. What had disturbed Rosea had been that Gideon had also pointed out that some things were neither coming from him nor from her. Father Jacob thought about all of this for a bit, and then he tried to explain. Rosea, you yourself are part your mother, and in other parts your father. Do you at times see your mother or your father in how you are? Rosea thought about it and answered in a serious tone. I look a bit like my mom, and sometimes do things that she would. About my father, I do not know. He is not around. Father Jacob's face showed for a moment a mix of sorrow and guilt. He had forgotten about this and said, I am sorry. Rosea looked confused. Father Jacob, you do not have to be sorry. You are around. He is not. He should be sorry. With a slight grin, Father Jacob replied, Yes, he should. I think he is missing out. He gathered his thoughts again and continued. What I wanted to explain is that parts of you are from one parent or the other, and some of you is a mix. All your ancestors are in you one way or the other, but still there are parts which are just you, and these will become more and more. You grow up each day. You learn new things. You add new memories. You become more you with every day. Rosea did not speak it out loud, but her eyes said, This was a lot of words. Father Jacob went to the little table which stood on the porch and called Rosea over. On the table he had some tea, mostly for himself, and some juice and water for the children. The tea had long gone cold, but he did not mind much. He took a glass and poured some tea in and asked Rosea, What is tea? Tea is water and some other stuff together. Your tea is rooibos, right? He smiled and said, "Yes, you are right. Tea is already two things together, and together they are something new. I only poured a little. If you were to take a sip now, you would only taste the tea. The rest of the glass is empty, and you do not taste the empty air. We would say that the tea is the child of rooibos and water, and the rest of the space in the glass tells us how much it may still grow." He took a pitcher of juice. Rosea asked, "Peach?" He nodded and said, "Yes, peach." He poured from the pitcher into the glass and asked Rosea, "Is there any less tea in the glass now than there was before?" She said, "No." He told her to take a sip, and she did. Then he asked her what she had tasted. Rosea replied, "All of it, but mostly juice." Father Jacob smiled. "This is the mix. What has been there to begin with is not lost, but it is changed by what was added later. And still what came later still has a taste which tells of what was there originally. What is in this glass has turned into an all-new beverage." Rosea asked, "Turned or grown?" Father Jacob's face lit up with a brilliant smile. "You have got it. This is growth. You start with something and add to it. In the end is something new and beginner, and something new and bigger than what was at the start. But nothing that was got lost along the way." Rosea also smiled. "So together land is growing up?" Father Jacob nodded. "Yes, and so are you." Rosea's mom had arrived and called for her. Rosea looked from her mom to Father Jacob and told him, "I think my mom looks a little bit like me." He laughed and said, "That is one way to look at it." Then he told her to hurry to her mom. That was chapter 5, Impossible Logic, in the continuing story of Rosea Dreams by Dietlef Linda. I hope that you enjoyed it very much, and I look forward to seeing you the next time so I can tell you even more of the story, which just keeps going on. It's so beautiful. And in the next part, we are going to go back into the... I'm so excited I can't even speak. We are going to go back into the dreamland and see some more of that. And more of Gideon, Big Mouth. It's so exciting. So join us again. But before that happens, there are going to be more fun stories on character stories for children. I hope you will like them. Bye-bye now. Till next time. From me, Erik, with a K.